Hey guys, welcome back to Thorough Capping. It's Dave. It's 10:07 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's August 13th. What I did was I took a look at Assiniboia Downs for tomorrow night, and I want to post this so you guys have plenty of time to look at it. If you're doing the card yourself, you can compare. By the way, if you have a Brisnet account, Brisnet has free past performances for Assiniboia Downs. Just click the PP header. Click free PPs and you'll find Assiniboia Downs in there as one of the free pass performances. They also have Canterbury on days when Canterbury runs as well. All right, this week what I'm doing is I'm taking a look at a different approach. Same exact factors. Okay, nothing's changing here. Just the way that I'm analyzing the grid, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring the best and most consistent product in your direction. And when I say product, I'm just talking about just a handicap and method and what you're doing with these factors and so forth. So I haven't added any new factors. I haven't changed the way that I figure them. All I'm doing is I'm comparing two things now. I'm going to compare as if it was two different players handicapping selections from just the matrix grid only, and what the top four would be. Now, these necessarily don't have to be based off of the TC ratings 1 through 4, the way I ranked them. And you may find on a couple of these that a horse that finished outside of the top 4 in the ratings finishes up here. And I'm going to discuss why. I want to make sure that I include every top point getter in the target, ability, final fraction, target, Briz, and speed cue columns. Now I realize that's 5. And if I had 5 different horses showing up as the top in each of them, then I'm going to have to make a decision. But I'm not going to look over here at all to make that decision. I would make a decision most likely based on the TC rating as the separator. Now this side of the grid, all right, we'll call this TC2. TC2 is taking into account the qualitative factors and what they did to these ratings over here. And my top 4 are in the order of top to bottom in TC rating 1 through 4. Okay, so really nothing's taken into account over here. It's already in the ratings. Okay, so I'm not looking over here to determine who am I going to make my top choice, who I'm going to make my second choice. These are just going to be in quantitative order on what you see in the ratings here. Okay, so let's take a look at them. Race number 1, they were identical. 2-4-3-6, 2-4-3-6. There were only a couple qualitative notes in here, and they did not make a difference. Okay, it did not put the weight allowance, did not put the 5 in the running, and it did not do anything to knock the 2 horse down, or it couldn't hurt him at all or help him anymore because he was already on tops over here. Actually, no, he was second over here. So it actually puts the 2 on top over here, and the 2 was on top over here simply because he's showing up in 3 columns, not because he was the top choice. The 4 is my top choice. If you looked at just the I don't want to call it qualitative because they are quantitative, but if you don't look at the ratings over here and you just look at the picture itself, we have top target, top ability, and showing up second in 2 columns. You could very easily argue that the 4 horse could be the top choice here, but I have 2-4-3-6 because the columns are outnumbered here, 3 to 2 as far as tops. All right, race number 2. Race number 2. We have a little discrepancy. Race number 2, we have the 7-2-5-1. The 7 for obvious reasons. Okay, the 2 simply because he is my top final fraction and he's also second target. To separate the 5 and the 1, I went with, being that I already have a top final fraction here with the 2 horse, I let the ratings talk for me, separating 3 and 4. So I have 7, 2, 5, and 1 in here. I probably should switch them up simply because blue should outweigh yellow. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go 7-2-1-5. Same numbers, just change the order of third and fourth. Now, when I look over here, I look at the top rating getters simply because the impact made from the two moves here on the 4 and the 6. And this side, I come up with 7, 5, 6, 4. Now, once again, I know some of you may be looking at this going, well, gee, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 7 horses covered here. Yeah, I know I do. I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it as see which is producing more accurate results using the qualitative factors to enhance and change the TC ratings, or leaving TC ratings as they are based off of the matrix factors, because the direction I'm going to lean into soon is to eventually not have a second TC rating. Just use the qualitative factors to determine separators. So, for example, if I had two horses like, let's say the 6 and the 2 were, I was trying to decide, I might look and say, okay, well, the 6 horse came off a move, so I'm going to make the 6 horse my 4th choice rather than the 2, and so forth. So I'm looking at using these as separators opposed to, or potentially separators, opposed to relying on the TC ratings that come from this side. And again, this is this week's experiment to see what's producing results. And we have, again, 2 fictitious cappers going at each other with their selections, and we'll see who comes out on top here. And we'll compare it. When I do the recap, I'll compare it in different ways. I'll compare it through exotics. And again, I'm not going to compare it through boxing all 4 horses. I'll compare it through maybe trifectas with the top 2 over all 4 over all runners in the race. So in this case, it would be a 2-7 over 1-2-5-7 over all, opposed to this one would be 5-7 over 4-5-6-7 over all. And just see who would come out with the best ROI. Okay, race number 4. We have top 3, same horses, 5-4-7, except in a different order, 5-7-4. And then the discrepancy here is the 3 on this side, 2 on this side. The 3 is showing up twice on the matrix grid, whereas the 2 is not showing up at all in any color. But however, when you add the weight allowance, that boosts that 2 up to a 67, and that puts him 4th in TC rating. So that's why he's in the selections over here, yet not over here. The 5 horse again looks like a standout to me across the matrix grid, and we'll see what happens. Another thing that we're looking to try to do here is try to determine which evaluation system, especially when there's discrepancies like this, which system puts us in the best situation to where, let's say, a horse like this, who looks like a standout, and he's at 4 to 5 odds on the board. As we all know, racing luck plays a role as well. And for every bit of bad luck, there's always good luck. Horses find themselves falling into the right spot. So really the question, or the puzzle we're trying to solve is, if this 5 horse runs into trouble and doesn't have the trip that it looks like it should have, who's most likely to fall in to benefit from that bad luck of the 5? Okay, and that's why we're talking about looking for the value, the win value, and putting the win money on the doesn't mean just because he's, showing up as just no blue in the column. If he's showing up on the grid and he's 14 to 1, that might be worth a couple dollars win play, because again, if this horse here runs into racing luck, bad racing luck, the race may fall in the hands of a horse like the 3 horse. Okay, race number 5. Same exact 4, 1, 8, 7, 6, just a different order. I have the 8 on top here, showing up 3 times in blue, and the 1 horse over here, or the 8 horse. I actually have the 1 horse. I'm sorry, the 1 horse showing up. I put him on top because he was my target horse, but very well I could have put the 8. I think I changed that late. That's why I just made that mistake. But I have the 1, 8, 7, 6, and here's the 8, 1, 6, 7. So if we're playing an exotic here with the top two on top, it's going to be the same exact top two anyway, and it's going to be the same four in the second leg over whatever all. So that's what I might do. I might test these with trifectas, and then also win plays as well. Race number 6. Race number 6, we have 5, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 6, 5. No 1 over here. Okay, 1 is over here simply because of the top final fraction rating. And like I said before, if they're showing up in blue, the 5, the 4, and the 1 are definitely going to be in the top 4 rankings. And that was the old style. Okay, this is the approach I would take before when I first put together the matrix system of handicapping. I didn't use any ratings. If you remember correctly, if you've been following along to these videos, I just started these ratings about a month ago. Okay, before that, it was simply ranking based on what your eyes were telling you and what you see on the grid. The ratings were meant to just put things into a little better perspective. But now we're trying to figure out what is the best way now to weight these categories so that we can get a little more accuracy here, and the ratings can help us point a little more to the winner. And I have one of my subscribers. I'm not going to use his name. I don't know if everybody wants names out there, but he is helping me out, and he's putting together. He's using regression analysis to determine how to factor in weights. And as I get updates with that, I will, I will keep everybody else posted. And like I said before, the best way to get information is through the Discord. Okay, the Discord is always live. I got notifications when they pop up. I'll jump in. So if you're not a member of Discord, make sure you click the invite link and join us. All right, race number 7, the final race. I have 1976, 1796. So surprisingly enough, in a 12-horse field, I don't know if all 12 of them will run. I didn't think Assiniboia could hold 12 horses, but you might see the 11, 12 scratch out. Same exact 4, but just a different order. The 1 is the top play here for reasons you can see, and he's also the top overall TC rating. And despite all the qualitative notes over here, we still come out to the same 4. All right, so that's pretty much what I'm looking at doing this week. Again, I'm just constantly trying to find a way to take this set of methods and make them as consistent as possible. We're always going to run into days where, you scratch your head and you say, how did this horse win? How did that horse win? And like I said, when you're how do I want to put this? When you are not stuck with, but when you're at the mercy of, this is the data you have, and you stay true to what you have, simply because you know what, you're going to have good days, and hopefully you're having more good days than bad days. If you aren't, I can honestly say, based on my experience over the years of using this system, if you're not, you're probably digging into your pocket a little too much and not letting yourself get ahead with the quote-unquote racetracks money, and then boosting your tickets a little bit. You're reaching right in and using your money too early. And when that happens, you spend $30 in race number 1 and you lose, you're down $30. Okay? Second race you hit for $18, you're still down $12. You spend $6, or not, sorry, 6, but let's say reasonably $10 to $12 in the first race, and you lose. You come back in the second race and you hit for that $18, you're now up $6. It's a little bit different. So now, if your bankroll is set for $12 a race and that's it, well, you just made an extra $6 the race before that. You may want to spend. You may want to. I'm just saying. Maybe you can add that extra $6 to those wagers in that next race and play $18 worth of wagers, or maybe split it in half. $3 in this next race and play $15, and in the next race after that play another $15, and all of a sudden you hit something, and then you decide, if it's a large enough hit, cash some of it out, keep it going, whatever, but make sure that you're not spending money on wagers that you're not normally used to playing because you have so much confidence in something that you do, or you had such a good day the day before that, you know what, I'm unloading today because this game has a way of really slapping you in the face, and you don't want that. So, other than that, that's all I had for you today, and I'll keep you posted. So hopefully you get a chance to look at this, handicap the card yourself. Shoot me some comments in the Discord if you're in there, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. All right, thanks for tuning in.